about a couple of his big horses from the past few months. That and much more next.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the first of 5 special editions of the Quarter Racing Update here at Remington Park for the 2013 spring season. I'm your host for this weekend, Jesse Ullery. A big day of stakes races here, the first featured weekend, already 3 weeks into the Remington Park meet, and we're going to kick it off here with a huge night of stakes races, 4 on the card, including the featured Grade 2 $325,000 Oklahoma Futurity. If you caught Thursday's show here with Dale Day, they got to talk a little bit about that. We're going to jump right in, though, to the Oklahoma Derby. It's a $100,000 event, part of that 4-race stakes package that's on tonight's card. And let's take a look here at some of the fastest qualifiers, including Llano Cartel and High Class Vodka. Here's the first of the trials here, featuring the fastest qualifiers in Llano Cartel and High Class Vodka. Llano Cartel broke from the 2-post under Ricky Ramirez and defeated the second fastest qualifier in High Class Vodka, who was last year's Speed Horse winner. So we'll be watching for those contenders tonight. And joining us right now on the Quarter Racing Update is trainer Casey Willis, who has Last First Kiss in tonight, the 6th fastest qualifier. Casey, welcome to the show.
How y'all doing?
So last year you had Last First Kiss, and you had this horse that qualified for the Prairie Meadows Juvenile at Prairie Meadows and ran 7th after coming back in that effort. Then you qualified to the OHA Mystery Futurity at Will Rogers Downs with this very same horse. Came back and ran 3rd. What did you learn from the experience from the Challenge Juvenile Championships there at Prairie Meadows to the OHA to get you a better performance with Last First Kiss?
Well, she came back a lot better, the second time around and just really run her race. When she loads up, she's usually not the fastest horse, but she's the most consistent and does everything right. I mean, her race record proves that they have to run to outrun her. So that's like she proved in the trials, she wasn't the favorite or nothing in that race, and she still prevailed again, and come back really good for this set of finals. They're looking to be a really good 3-year-old. She's got bigger, stronger, more mature. So.
And is that the only difference you've noticed from the 2 to 3-year-old seasons? Is that something you noticed about her, or as she?
No.
And again, this is Casey Willis with Last First Kiss in the $100,000 Oklahoma Derby tonight. You mentioned it's a pretty solid field of 10 horses. It's a great group of 3-year-olds, a lot of them with several accomplishments from their 2-year-old season. Who are you looking at as some of your main competition tonight?
Well, Big Boy's the class of the field. Him drawing out there beside High Class Vodka, that worries me. Them two can really hook up, He's definitely the class. If he runs his race, he'll be hard to beat.
Yeah, and I have to agree with you. Big Boy does look like some of the tougher competition for you tonight, but I do think Last First Kiss might have a good shot there. You're in the middle of the pack and didn't have to use a whole lot last time out, so good luck to Casey Willis tonight in the Oklahoma Derby.
All right, thank you, man.
All right, we're going to head out to a break, but Casey Willis, thanks for joining us here on the Quarter Racing Update. We're going to head to a break and coming right back with the Oklahoma Bred of the Week for the opening 2 weeks at the Remington Park season.
Quarter Racing Update, Remington Park, is brought to you by the Oklahoma Quarter Horse Racing Association, Speed Horse Magazine, Juniors of Oklahoma City, by Racing Free, and by Oklahoma Equine Hospital.
An official representative for horsemen in the state, the OQHRA administers race, benevolence, and scholarship programs, all to better the state of racing in the state of Oklahoma. Visit OQHRA.com.
Speed Horse Magazine, the industry's most widely read and respected magazine. Complete coverage of quarter horse racing and industry events. Sponsor of the Speed Horse Race Series. Visit speedhorse.com.
And welcome back to the Quarter Racing Update with the first of our 5 special edition shows here on the weekends here on the Quarter Racing Update for the 2013 Remington Park season. Looking ahead now to the next series of shows here, 4 shows up on the horizon here. Of course, the weekly Thursday shows, which are going to be hosted as always by Remington Park track announcer Dale Day. You can see those on March the 28th, April the 4th, and a couple shows in April there as well. And don't forget that we have a special Saturday again coming up here in a few weeks. That's going to be on Saturday, April the 20th, and that's going to be the the second of the 5 special edition shows here, and that will feature the Remington Park, Oklahoma bred fraternity. Last year won by Lotta PYC. Owner Steve Holt, trainer Rodney Reed, and jockey G.R. Carter were victorious in the Oklahoma bred stakes race. The Remington Park, Oklahoma bred fraternity, that's going to be part of our special edition episodes coming up here on the Quarter.
Oklahoma Futurity, and from them came many of history's fastest athletes.
And that was a segment of History's Fastest Athletes. It'll be a regular segment that we have here on the Quarter Racing Update. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be looking forward to more of those in the weeks to come. Going to head to a quick break right now on the Quarter Racing Update, the first of our 5 special editions here for the Remington Park, or rather for the Oklahoma Futurity. And coming up in the next segment, our very own Danielle Bryan from Racing Free will be here to handicap a few of the top contenders in tonight's Oklahoma Futurity.
Speed Horse Magazine, the industry's most widely read and respected magazine. Complete coverage of quarter horse racing and industry events. Sponsor of the Speed Horse Race Series. Visit speedhorse.com.
Somewhere there's music, how faint the tune. Somewhere there's heaven, how high the moon. There is no moon above when love is far away till it comes true. That you love me as I love you. Somewhere there's music, I'm near and far.
Speed Horse Magazine, the industry's...
We're back.
And we're back here on the Quarter Racing Update on the first of our special editions here. We're joined now by Danielle Bryan from Racing Free. If you tuned in Thursday, you saw Danielle, and she'll be a regular part of the cast here along with Dale on the weekly episodes. And she's going to step in to do a little bit of handicapping with us now for the $325,000 Grade 2 Oklahoma Futurity. Let's take a look at the top contenders. And back now for the Quarter Racing Update and the top contenders. Having some technical difficulties here with the top contenders. So a little bit about Danielle. You are a novice handicapper.
I am.
Not that I tend to be an expert. I've been in the industry for a while, but you're kind of a novice handicapper. So Danielle's going to be joining us here, and she's going to be able to give us an...
into this race, and he was one of my top horses in the barn towards the middle of the winter. He's definitely living up to my expectations.
Royal Rhythm is an Oklahoma bred owned by Galen Childers. With Kenny Muntz in the saddle, he powered on late in his trial to qualify for the Futurity. Royal Rhythm won his training race last month after minor problems out of the gate. He's trained by Eddie Lee Willis. Two horses qualified in this trial. Trial race number 4, Rough Princess LBH and Swingin' Debut, the 8-horse. Texas-bred Swingin' Debut set the fastest time of all qualifiers at 15.378 seconds. In his February training race, after some heavy jostling in the early strides, Swingin' Debut rallied into third. He's owned by James Sills. Eddie Willis is the trainer.
Had him since September, and he didn't really show a lot of run early, just kind of medium, you know, but he's come around lately, and he looked like he could get it on pretty good. But I worked him a couple of weeks before that, and he worked really good, and it just kind of carried over, and he really ran good.
Oklahoma Equine Hospital, with rehab facilities that include an underwater treadmill and cold saltwater spa. 2 locations just off I-35 at Oswald Road and Land Road.
So there's a look at a few of the top contenders coming into the $325,000 Oklahoma Futurity, a Grade 2 event. We do want to mention that we did have a scratch in this race, so we had some technical difficulties there. We do want to make sure we pass that along, and that was with number 1, C.R. Tuckernuck. But getting a closer look at the field here, Danielle, it is interesting. This horse had to beat some pretty serious horses to get into the race. So Praying for Ivory, you heard it right there, Danielle Bryan from Racing Free. I'm going to take a closer look here with One Valiant Hero. Now, this horse drew an outside post position heading into the Oklahoma Futurity, and One Valiant Hero comes from the Eddie Willis barn. You're actually getting a shot right there, Praying for Ivory, I believe. Is that right, Keith? There's Praying for Ivory that you're seeing right now. And that is going to be Danielle's selection. You'll notice the track that night was very muddy, very sloppy here at Remington Park. So it will be interesting to see how the horses handle it coming back here on the surface tonight. So there's Praying for Ivory. Good-looking horse.
Yep.
I got to say, that's a good-looking pick there.
I think he's going to do well.
Let's take a closer look for my pick here, and that's going to be with One Valiant Hero coming from the barn of Eddie Willis. Actually, an interesting kind of problem here. Not really a problem, you might say, for Eddie Willis. He did have 2 qualifiers in this race. David Pignon's going to pick with him out here. We had Jimmy Brooks on the show Thursday, and he actually made the decision to ride Swingin' Debut, who's going to break from an inside post position.
Right.
So Swingin' Debut is kind of doing the opposite of what One Valiant Hero did.
Right.
One Valiant Hero broke in the 1 post last time, now draws the outside post number 10. Swingin' Debut goes from the outside to the inside. So we'll see how they're going to be able to handle it. But I was very impressed by One Valiant Hero. Pretty much a wire-to-wire effort. We'll get David Pignon aboard, and David is kind of the second call rider. Very sharp effort, though, in the trials, though, with One Valiant Hero coming from the Eddie Willis barn. Okay, any other contenders that you're kind of looking towards? Maybe kind of a horse that's an outsider, praying for Ivory, even though 10th fastest time,
Right.
not really an outsider, anything you're kind of taking a look at?
I was really enjoying those Willis horses and how they've all kind of performed in the trials, how they all came out. A lot of impressive runs. So, I have Swinging Debut and for my second pick. I think they've done well on the inside. I think he'll do well on the outside as well. So, One Valiant Hero as well. Got to put a plug in for him because he is also a Racing Free horse. We are excited to have him as a member of the Racing Free program that just happened. It's not too late to get all the Futurity horses in the program. So, racingfree.com if you want to get more information about that. But we hope he does well as well.
I would say a great choice from a novice handicapper going with an Eddie Willis Exacta in the Oklahoma Futurity. I don't think there's any problem.
I'll faint the tune. Somewhere there's heaven. How high the moon. There is no moon above when love's far away too. Till it comes true that you love me as I love you. Somewhere there's music. I'm near and far.
An official representative for horsemen in the state, the OQHRA administers race, benevolence, and scholarship programs, all to better the state of racing in the state of Oklahoma. Visit OQHRA.com.
Quarter Racing Update Remington Park is brought to you by the Oklahoma Quarter Horse Racing Association, Speed Horse Magazine, Juniors of Oklahoma City, by Racing Free, and by Oklahoma Equine Hospital.
And welcome back, everyone, to the Quarter Racing Update, the first of our 5 special editions here. We hope you're enjoying the programming here. We'd like to thank a few of the sponsors, including the Oklahoma Quarter Horse Racing Association, Speed Horse Magazine, among others, for their great support of this new program. And we obviously appreciate all the viewers tuning in as well. Big night here at Remington Park, as we have talked about, specifically with 4 races. That's going to be the Oklahoma Peyton-Appaloosa Futurity and, of course, the Speed Horse Graham Derby, which you're going to be taking a closer look at here in just a few minutes. It's all part of a great night of racing action here tonight. Let's take a look at some of the top qualifiers heading into this race. Laus Deo, and he's a sweet first down. Taking a look now at some trial footage here. This is going to be the effort of Laus Deo, who's coming out of the barn of trainer Eddie Willis. Last year a qualifier at the Lone Star Peyton-Appaloosa Futurity, 8th place in that event. But here's a horse that's had 3 victories in its career with earnings of more than $58,000. Laus Deo, the second fastest time, drawing the outside post position number 10 for the connections of Eddie Lee Willis and Joni Willis. And, of course, Kenny Muntz will have the return mount as he was aboard for that qualifying effort. A tough effort there in that race at Remington Park. And now we're going to send it to Matt Whitekiller, who has the fastest qualifier with he's a sweet first down.
You couldn't get him riled up. He's finally figuring it out, And he got early in his career, he didn't want to break. He just kind